Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? Dunder Snuff, Hobby Petite, Sendry, Mydroll, Phoenix, welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. Let's jump in. It has been a long day already. I hope you guys are having a great day. My week has been crazy and busy. There's been too much. Way too much. But whatever. We're gonna paint some stuff. So let me just get some paint ready. Yeah, we'll start with the old burnt orange. I believe every day's a good day when you paint. Hey, Raja, thank you for the sub. How you doing? I want to take my turn so bad. I'm gonna wait though. It's not professional. Butterscorch, welcome in. Breakthrough yesterday on Glazes, so I'm happy. Nice. Working Demonettes at the office, slowly filing down Slanesh Emblem with the banner. Nice. I actually have a good start, Raja. I'm going to call this a good start. So, yesterday, I was able to prime and base coat these two squads. So I have the Votann Steeljacks. And I'm way out of focus. Sorry, guys. My bad. Okay, that's better. Yeah, I got the Thunderkin. So we got them all primed and everything. I'm gonna get out some burnt orange to start, and we're gonna paint the cloth, what we can reach on the cloth underneath these. Yeah, Raja, yeah. It's all good, man. It's funny though when you can see like 3-4 turns in, I just get like an oh no. Yeah, it's cool though. It's been fun. So Rage, I have to tell you, I've been playing against the Painting Wife online. We'll just start a game. We'll play online. I played against her one game, and the game ended. All right, this is basically like 2 good turns on my end. I had the perfect hand. We ended. I had 90 health or authority at the end. She was negative 80. I just had all of the cards. I drew my entire deck of cards out on the last turn. I think she was down to 2 health at that point, but I did 82 damage and was up to 90 health. So I see that, and then when I play against you and like I lose, I don't feel as bad. I'm like, okay, not down, 90 or whatever. Yeah, once you get the bases and yeah. You just get all the draw cards and everything. I was really just focusing on getting cards that let me draw more cards. Worked out really well. Pirate Gamer, welcome in. Yeah. Super fun. I think that may have been, maybe against, in like the campaign, I had a better hand before, but that may have been my best hand. We are painting some stuff. We're trying to work our brush and area. These minis are like some of the worst laid out minis I have ever worked with. There's like no good way of going about this, and like sub assemblies are nearly impossible with these because everything's like interconnected. It's crazy. Who designed these, but also paint. Hey, congrats, Pirate Gamer. Joining the club. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Hope everybody's happy and healthy. Rush with blob. It could take a long time to build. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, the blob counter is that really, really good. Say I finished your plague verse, Carl. I don't think you did. I don't think you mentioned that. If you did, I don't remember it, and I apologize, but... Good painting on primer to use with contrast. Yeah, you just want something with a solid coat. I would say if you're going to use paint on primer, Any of it will be fine. I do like the Pro Acryl stuff just because it has a really nice matte finish, and I feel like other paint will grip that primer really well. But what I recommend you do is you paint on the primer and then paint on a base color, and then you put the contrast on. That's what I recommend you do. So don't put the contrast just over the primer. With rattle cans, a little different, and like you can do that a little easier. But with paint on stuff, you definitely want to put a coat of paint over it. Is something too many layers? Okay, well, something to keep in mind is most primers, they don't cover like paints do. Primers typically, when you brush them on especially, they look really thin. So they're not going to cover like the same color, because a primer it's a function. It's not like a paint. Okay, you use primer to help other paint stick to the miniature. That's what it does. Primer is meant to chemically bond with the plastic model that you're painting. So it actually like partially melts into the model and like holds itself, and then it's made for other paint to stick to it. Okay, so when you use primer, you got to think of it not as a paint, it's a function, and that's an important thing. That's an important thing to remember with primers. Yeah, because you're gonna paint it and you're gonna be like, man, this paint looked really thin. Like, man, I got this white primer, but I can still see the bare plastic underneath it. It's because that's not what primer is made to do. I understand. Yeah, if you don't enjoy painting, I totally get that. If you don't enjoy painting, I would recommend making it so you only have to paint the mini once, and not that you're rubbing paint off of it. But yeah, it's just 2 layers. Just put the primer on, let it dry overnight. Okay, don't paint over it right afterwards, because it needs time to cure. And then you go over it real quick with just a thin layer of whatever base coat. Just thin down a base coat. Go over the mini. That's all you got to do. Which I also know, like, your time is a bit limited, so especially right now. So I get that's not the most appealing thing. Yeah, I don't have I don't think there's a brush on primer that's gonna go on looking like a paint. I was painting the butt. Yep, we still have to paint the butt. Straight from the bottle. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Just just spread it out evenly then if you're gonna paint straight from the bottle. But yeah, if you're using a brush on primer, it's gonna end up looking. You can see the plastic underneath it, unless you're putting on a ridiculously heavy layer that just will mess up all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I was right there with you for a long time, Pirate Gamer. I did not enjoy. I didn't actually enjoy painting. I painted for the sole reason of getting minis on the table, and even then it was like an occasional thing. I was like that for many, many years, for like decades, until just a couple years ago. So I definitely understand the attitude and like the attitude, but the mindset of like, I don't care, I just want these minis painted. But sometimes it's something I kind of learned about myself, and this isn't not for everybody though, but if I was able to take a little bit more time on a miniature, which I didn't always do, I wasn't always someone that would do that, but the times I would take more time on a miniature, I'd always be more proud of them, right? And it made me want to learn more. Just getting like whether it was, you know, taking my time on a mini and having a nice result, or even sharing the miniature and like pictures of it with random people and getting some nice compliments, like that all motivated me to enjoy painting more. And not that you have to, because, you know, we all have our own version of this hobby, but I think doing the little bit of extra steps, the little bit to make sure that you have a good foundation on your model, I think you will enjoy it more if you know the end result is going to look a little better. Not that you have to enjoy it, or that you know, you're guaranteed to enjoy the process, but I think, you know, little extra steps like that, like a primer and then a base coat and then your contrast, I think is going to make a big difference. If you had an airbrush, or if you're just rattle canning it, then it would be different, because, you know, a rattle can, you can pretty easily get that to cover to where it looks like a just a normal paint. What's up, EO? How you doing? Good afternoon to you. For all the Patreon listeners, I have a YouTube video that should be up this afternoon for you, for Patreon, and then tomorrow it'll be available for everybody else. But I had to record it this morning. This week has been kind of bonkers, so it's been way too busy. I had to take the painting son to the doctor yesterday, and then got a prescription for him, and then that was like a whole thing, and I had massive to-do list already, so I wasn't able to record my YouTube video, and it just kind of, lots of things compounding. You were to convert Votann minis into some form of guard units, what would you do and how? So what I would do now, I don't know if that necessarily answers your question, but if I actually enjoyed like painting Votann and like I wanted to collect them as an army, which they're not my favorite minis, I will say. These are a commission, so money, you know. But if I did enjoy Votann minis and I wanted to run them as something other than Votann, my first thought goes to the Horus Heresy game, because there are rules for militia in the Horus Heresy, and the militia PDF basically has a lot of open rules, and one of them is basically fielding a Votann army, like a squat army. And so you can alter your rules to field Votann type units, and that's like a way to play them. So that's what I would do. Yeah, as far as like 40k guard, I mean, you can model things to kind of work for a guard army. 40k at this point has become like very like tournament focused mindset as a game, and I would be hesitant to convert one 40k army into another like that, just for the fact that I think people would get confused by it and it could frustrate people. So if you're just playing, then just to keep in mind that if you're going to be gaming with strangers and you're playing 40k with them, that you might end up with some people that make comments. Not that they're necessarily right. Possibly convert to like Ogren. Yeah, like some of these dudes or something could work out to be some Ogren. Long weekend? Did not manage to paint the Blood Bowl teams. Oh, okay. Like 3/4 done with the skeleton team. Dang. Wait, so you've been painting the new Blood Bowl stuff, and you're already like mostly done with one of the teams? I mean, that sounds pretty impressive anyway. It's only been out since the 15th, right? It was like 3 days ago? Yeah, with some of the older 40k rules, especially the Imperial Guard, you could really customize your army a lot. one of the ways you could customize your army was giving your entire army like carapace armor. So you give all your guardsmen 4-up saves, which was really cool, and I think that would work well with Votann, since they do have like heavier armor and stuff. Look what you can convert into guard usage. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, 40k guard in 10th edition don't have nearly as many options for just shenanigans like that, so. We used to come with the Chaos Marine Preacher, got them converted to Guard Priest. Oh, nice. Very cool. You are finding uses, which is really cool. $40k Wallace and Gromit? Oh my gosh. That's wild. For Wensleydale and the Emperor. I don't think I've ever seen a Wallace and Gromit movie. They're fun. Yeah, I bet. It seemed like fun movies to watch. That's heresy, dude. I'm from the U.S. I'm not from the U.K., so they're not quite as popular here. The one where they go to the moon for cheese. Oh. Eurasia was also sheltered as a child, so. I don't even know what the BBC iPlayer is. From Ireland, I've never seen Wallace and Gromit. There we go. Thank you, Butterscorch. Is that like an iPhone app, like an Apple app or something? Because I don't deal with Apple. The truth. I mean, not that the UK's doing so well, but by all means. There you go. Wallace and Gromit retake the colonies. There's the next movie. Oh, the Irish equivalent? Oh, okay. Oh, cool. My TV is basically YouTube at this point, so I don't watch a lot of TV anyway. There's like 3 shows I keep up with. that all release painfully slow, and then that's about it. I determined last time I painted these that silver was the way to base coat them, even though it gets messy, regardless of what you're doing. Chicken Run. I remember Chicken Run, but I don't think I ever saw it. Never actually watched it. I'm tired. Anybody else tired today? Kid, I completely refuse to watch Shaun the Sheep. Oh, interesting. So tired, yeah. Yep. Painting Son has a choir performance tomorrow. His music teacher this year, he is in 3rd grade. She decided to start a 3rd grade choir, which is awesome. And they've never done that before, or it's the first time in like 20 something years they've had a choir at the elementary school. So he has his first performance tomorrow evening. And he is super nervous about it. He's very nervous. But he also, he has a speaking part. So he's got like extra to do, which we didn't know about until this past weekend. So we've been trying to practice his speaking part with him. Which he's doing fine. He'll be fine with it. But, yeah, he is very on edge about the whole thing. But it should be good. So... and painting wife is extra proud. She is an elementary school music teacher, so she's got some stake in this. We're all really excited to see him. It's like his first like extracurricular school activity he's done. Just messed all that up. And these minis are going to look like garbage until they don't. So, I understand the quiet judgment. Probably not. No, nothing too crazy. I'll put a little bit of lights on them just from like their goggles and stuff, but these are getting more of a tabletop level painting. That's what we're doing. There's nothing too wild going on in these minis. Okay. Next thing we're doing... Yeah. Let's see if I have another one of these bottles here. I do, okay. Put some of this color down. Okay, that is for sure empty. So we'll get our new bottle of black brown. I go through paint really quick, guys. Don't want that. Oh, come on. Yeah, don't splash me. There we go. replace the lid. Looks like there's a lot in that one. That's just a bubble, though. There's nothing left in there. Nothing that'll come out. It's been sitting on its head for a week at this point. Cool. Do paint. Try this again. I know in the US it's Thanksgiving next week. It's going to be kind of a crazy week. I know I am not streaming much next week. It's also the Painting Son's birthday. So we're going to be celebrating that, and then, yeah, it is a holiday, so... Let's keep going. Okay, they all have belts because they're robots. Belts, right? Printer stick glue before. Hold on. What? Are you feeling okay, Dunder Snuff? I didn't understand a word you're saying. Just a bunch of words. I'm sorry. I can empathize here. Oh, man, that's a phrase. I can normally decipher when people are typing phrases. I don't know, Dunder. I don't know. Does primer stick to plastic glue? That is a good question. I don't know. Probably. In some sense, yeah. How much plastic glue do you have on your Mini? Yeah, you might be. You might be. That's okay. Let's see. As far as leather bits go on these minis, I think that's about it. Put you over here because we'll come back and get the other ones. Junction with filing away the implement on the band. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So you're kind of melting it and then filing a little bit? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, okay. Interesting. Alright. Yeah, you should be fine. I don't know many materials that primer won't stick to, so... Yeah, big blank banner for freehand. No, that's a really cool idea. Okay. I think that's it. That one. The next one. Slanesh is getting a big DLC for Total War Warhammer. That's pretty cool. What's up, Blue? How you doing? Yeah. Dundersnuff had a painting dad typing moment there, also called a senior moment. Great. Works a bit nutty. Yeah, it's too bad.
Good job.
Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. Finally back to more Votann for all those Votann fans out there. Yeah. Sit on that guy. Let's get this one here. This is one with one of the front pouches. This was the Sergeant Mini. Doesn't have a normal belt either. Let's see if I can't finish these minis this week. It's maybe a tall order, but it is only 12 minis. And these steeljacks don't look too horrible to paint, so we're going to try. Patreon Hangout should happen this week, even if I am just a little bit late. Next week it's probably not happening though. Just because that's the evening before Thanksgiving, and I am cooking Thanksgiving, which means I am cooking Wednesday night as well. So I have a lot to do. A cook-along? Yeah. What about that? Live stream myself cooking a turkey. So fun story about this turkey. All right. So I don't know if I talked about this before, but so as I talk about quite a bit, Painting Wife has a lot of food allergies, and turkey is not one of her food allergies. So we look forward to eating turkey because I don't eat a lot of chicken. She can't eat chicken, so she wants to eat bird. This is the bird that she can eat. Well, unfortunately, she is allergic to a lot of ingredients that companies use to brine turkeys before they freeze them. So, butter, garlic, and chicken. Those are 3 things that companies use to brine like in the turkey brines. So we have to find a turkey that doesn't have those things in the brines. And there is a specific brand of turkey that does not use either of those things to brine their turkeys. And so we've been looking for a turkey from that brand, and they are like not for sale anywhere. I don't know if they're just out of stock or they didn't make a lot or they're really popular. I have no idea. No idea what's going on, but we can't find this turkey. So Painting Wife went to a local butcher that we shop at occasionally. Sounds like heresy. What's up? Pyron, how you doing? So we went to a local butcher. Well, yeah, okay. So we did go to Aldi's, and the lady went to help us, and she like sprinted to the back, and ended up getting the wrong turkey that we couldn't eat, and felt really bad. But we Painting Wife went to a local butcher. It's a really good butcher. And asked if they were selling turkeys. Well, what they do every year is they take pre-orders for turkeys. And the turkeys they sell are fresh. They're not frozen. They come in that week, and they like butcher them overnight, and then they call people. They call them if you have a pre-order, and you come and pick up your turkey. Which is wild to me. It sounds way better. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Pre-ordering a turkey. So she pre-ordered the turkey. I told her not to tell me how much that turkey cost. It was probably a lot, but it has no seasoning on it, no brine. It's not frozen, so it doesn't need to thaw. None of that. It's just fresh turkey. So we're gonna get that next week, and needless to say, I am actually really excited, and I'm also really nervous because I feel like we're gonna eat this turkey and we're gonna be like, this is the greatest turkey we've ever had. What have we been eating? Has it actually been food that we're eating, or what is this stuff they also call turkey that they sell? So I also make pretty good turkey, just not to brag too much, but yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how it ends up. It ends up, but I'm more nervous that I'm gonna like this too much. But still, yeah, we bought a fresh turkey from a butcher that we had to pre-order. We change it up now from the turkey. Do a bit of seafood boil bag for the family. Yeah, seafood boils are good. Yeah. See, ever since I'd sealed my fate. Yeah. Ever since I started cooking Thanksgiving dinner, because I cook Thanksgiving dinner now. The main reason I started cooking Thanksgiving dinner was my wife's food allergies. So we just make sure she can eat everything, and I can make most Thanksgiving meal things to accommodate her allergies. I just cook it all from scratch. So yeah, that's that's what I do, and that's what we enjoy to do. And I know that she can eat the food that we have, and we don't have to worry about asking people or pestering people or whatever. So I started cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Now the only people that actually come and eat with us is my mother-in-law. So we don't worry about other people grumbling. But I will tell you, if other people came and ate my Thanksgiving dinner I prepared, they would be very happy about it, because I actually know how to cook a turkey properly. So yeah, which for some reason is I mean it takes a lot of effort. I get it, but man, a lot of people don't know how to cook a turkey. So it's literally the only roasted turkey that I actually enjoy. Yeah, please come over if you want to eat Thanksgiving dinner at my house. Just come on over. Well, you especially, man. I'll give you my address if you want to come over for Thanksgiving. Everybody else has to find it on their own. No, please don't dox me. But yeah, so I started cooking Thanksgiving dinner to accommodate my wife, so she could eat and we didn't have to like be annoying about it or whatever. But and now I don't want to have it any other way. I don't care to eat Thanksgiving dinner at other people's houses. Patreon exclusive Thanksgiving dinner, yes. All right, come on over. We'll get Yo Raptor over here for Thanksgiving. I don't know, Eo, have you ever eaten turkey? I don't know if like turkeys are an American bird, right? I don't know if that's like a thing people eat in other places in the world, but I'm curious now. Do they have turkeys in Europe? Picture and hang out on Black Friday night, stuff our faces with leftovers. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. You know what, Blue? We might have to do something like that next week, since I will not be doing Patreon Hangout on Wednesday. Just a Thanksgiving leftover, and you have tasted turkey. Okay. Yeah, turkeys are giant birds. So I think the turkey we got is 15 pounds, which is like not a giant turkey, but that is a giant bird. Yeah, and also on top of all that, my wife asked that butcher, so she pre-ordered the turkey. And she asked the butcher, like, hey, do you guys sell turkeys year round? How can I get a hold of a turkey if I just want to eat turkey sometime during the year? Because they're really hard to find throughout the rest of the year. And that butcher doesn't sell turkey year round, whole turkey, but they put us in contact with a turkey farmer where they order their turkeys. And they said you could probably contact them and order a turkey through the year. I'm just like, we're 2 steps away from just raising our own turkeys at this point. Sliced deli meat's good bread and all the fix. Hey, that's great. Yeah. Okay. Nope, gotta get his hat. Or her hat. His hat. You got the Votann Christmas box and pre-order? Nice. All right. That comes with the artillery, right? The mold launcher guns. That's really cool, Starlet. Yeah, I'm going to try to knock out these Votann this week. We'll see if I can't basically just finish these minis in a week. It'd be really nice if I can. Just found out the boil bag costs around the same. It's only 1.5 hours of total prep time. Oh, solid. Yeah. Seafood boils are great. Now, I live in Ohio. And I know you don't need fresh seafood. I understand like frozen seafood can be fine, but do you eat like, is it like fresh? What do you put in a seafood boil? Don't know if you're streaming that night. If I decide not to, I'll be there. Okay, sweet. That's right. It is a Friday night, isn't it? We'll do an eat leftovers and hang out. Right. You buy Hackathon, we right around the 2K. Nice. Hackathons are big tanks. In Idaho. Okay, okay, wow. So you are, man, you're out there, yeah. You know, I have never been to Idaho. I've never been that far out west. But I have heard that Idaho is a very beautiful state. Like just incredible like national parks and stuff like that. Like Idaho gets memed on for being potato people, but I've heard that your state is a very gorgeous place. So Idaho's beautiful. The people are rude. Okay, that's fair. All right, all right. One of your patrons will betray me. Yeah. Come to hear the overnight seafood. Oh, nice. Been there since the 80s. Yeah. Yeah, I used to work with a guy that would he would always vacation in places out west and go to like national parks and just hike up mountains and stuff. And he talked about how much he liked Idaho. Yeah, Ohio's just lame. People in general are rude, or Idahoans specific. Is it an Idahoan? Is that what you guys call yourselves? Some states and cities have really weird names. Saying it's Idaho, so don't move here. Okay, you're Idahoans, alright. You know what? You know what? I gotta mention. I did hear about at it's from something. I don't remember what it was, but I remember hearing about people how Idahoans are like just mean in general, like rude. Maybe they just don't want to be bothered. I don't know. Are you a mean Idahoan? Yeah, they don't like people. Just don't like other people. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. People in the Midwest are either like incredibly friendly or they're just like horrible. I don't think I've ever painted so few Votann minis at one time. It's always like big batches. Last time I painted, I think it was only technically 4 or 5 minis, but there was a vehicle in there, and it was a bunch of characters, and these are just essentially infantry squads. Hateful folks is the term we've used around here. Yeah, yeah. Am I a mean one? No, but probably some, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Big group of introverts, yeah. That's totally fair. I get that. I get it. I used to think of like Alaska, where like people specifically move to Alaska to just get away from everybody. Which is cool. Seems like Idahoans are just like born into it. We like our. I mean, seriously though, like potatoes are like one of the greatest foods ever. So I won't even meme on Idaho for liking potatoes because they're just right with that. Right. Since I've never met someone from Idaho, at least not that I know, not that I've known. What is like a what's a food like a dish you guys make, a meal you make that's like distinctly from Idaho? What do you got? At some last night they were nice, nice night ninja. How you doing, man? Welcome in. Supplies McDonald's, one of the largest companies aside from hospital. That's crazy. Yeah, yeah. Like potatoes, you aren't allergic to them. Just remember, it's okay to be wrong sometimes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes opinions are just bad. Well, 15 minutes from the Idaho border and can't think of anything unique. Okay, see, you're not actually in Idaho, so that's probably why. Irish traditional meal is coddle. Doesn't look very nice, but it's pretty good. Okay, okay. What's in coddle? Butterscorch. We had, is it Quishy, I believe, comes in the stream. Hangs out in here quite a bit, is from Latvia. And they were sharing some Latvian dishes that actually sounded really good. Like a pink stew or whatever. It sounded pretty wild. Coddle fish? No, no, not coddle. Not coddling the fish. Goodness. Finger steaks are popular here. We don't like a lot of extra stuff. To be fair, they do ice cream potatoes. Wait a second. Okay, two things. All right, what is a finger steak exactly? I don't think I've ever heard of finger steak. At the fair they do ice cream potatoes. What is an ice cream potato? Dusted with cocoa powder, and then is it okay? So it's like a vanilla ice cream that looks like a potato. Is that what an ice cream potato is? Hey, John Lockridge, what's up? Coddle is boiled potatoes and sausage and carrot celery season. Yeah, there's butterscorch. That sounds great at like any level right there. Like that's a good solid like comfort meal, right? Boiled potatoes and sausage and carrots and celery seasoned with butter. Yeah, that's a great meal. I'm all about that. Let's get some coal black. I'm trying to think. Finger steaks. Can't put my finger on that one. I don't know. I think the most finger steaks are strips of sirloin or any steak breaded and fried. Oh, dang. Okay. All right. You got me. I would hands down try finger. I need to try that sometime. Just give me some steak, yeah, and I'll fry it. Okay, that's legit. Sounds good. Pasty or pasty? How do you say that? Yeah, yeah, that's something too. Yeah, that's not something that that we eat in the Midwest at least. I use the British Empire model for my cooking. I take it from around the world. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so what we're doing, we're painting black here. We got coal black, and we need to paint these like sleeves. We're gonna paint the whole gun, whole rifle for these guys, and we're gonna paint it's around their ankles or their boots or something. There's a little thing here. Been doing Hungry Root. It's pretty good so far. Until last night we tried their sirloin steak. Worst steak I've ever had. Oh wow, okay. Is Hungry True like a mail order like meal service? Is that what they are? We did one of those for a week. We got like a trials, like $20 for a week or something, and we did that. And it was fine. It's weird to get a grocery delivery and they're like, here's one tomato. Like something about that is just strange to me, but that's too bad about the steak though. Potatoes and meat, some veggies, and a flaky pastry crust. Yeah, yeah. Like a puff pastry, right? Yeah, I have never had one of those, and we definitely don't have anywhere that like serves them out here. Yeah. I'm gonna make finger steaks sometime. Tell my family it's a Idahoan delicacy here. Got finger steaks. An hour before I can eat. Oh man, great to fill and reheat. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Huckleberry jam. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, yeah. I've never had huckleberry jam. Yeah. So an Ohioan thing here is a dessert or like a candy basically called Buckeyes. So a Buckeye is a tree, right? And it has a specific. If you know of like Ohio State, their mascot is a Buckeye. It's Brutus the Buckeye, you know, and he's literally just a tree nut. Buckeyes are poisonous, so you don't eat real Buckeyes. But people make a dessert, and it's basically like sweetened peanut butter, and you roll it into like a ball, and then you dip it in like a chocolate most of the way. So the peanut butter still shows up, so it still looks like a Buckeye. Yeah, yeah, Buckeyes are incredible. Yeah, they're so good. The key with Buckeyes though is they have to be homemade. If you buy them from like a candy store or something, they're so much worse. Like they taste like they're out of a factory, and it's never as good. Meal prep, grocery delivery, all the other stuff we tried has been quick, easy, and tasty. Steak wasn't. Okay. That's fair. Can you like take the steak meal off the menu basically, like what they send you? I know the one that we did, you could customize what you got. So we made it you know, like we chose what our menu was. Yeah, puppy chow's great too. Yeah. Yeah, you can't buy puppy chow from somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, puppy chow's really good though. Ireland also has Cole Cannon, smooth mash with cabbage and butter. Okay, interesting. I'm not a huge fan of cabbage, so I might not survive in Ireland. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, I'd try it. I'd totally try it. Yeah, Mydra, you're down like North Carolina or something, right? North Carolina has a lot of Ohio like transplants, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Ohioans that brought it there. Cabbage can be different greens too. Okay, okay. Set up to not order steak ever again, which is what we'll do. So quick lunch options. Oh, that's cool. All right. Seems like a pretty cool idea. Yeah, it's too bad about the steak not being good, but otherwise, it's cool. These guys also have gloves that are black as well, so that's just a lot of black on these minis. Transplants, period. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. I knew a lot of North Carolina people in Ohio as well. Like, seemed to, I don't know. Every other person I met seems like they're from North Carolina. It says fry sauce is a dish from here too. Ketchup and mayo. I mean, I think that might be everywhere though. My parents used to do that. Yeah, whenever they had like French fries. Yeah, mixed ketchup and mayo, made like the pink goo. As a kid, I thought it was horrible. As an adult, I'm like, man, that's actually pretty good. So. Good steak for a fattier cut like ribeye. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, John Lockridge. My family, painting wife, not so much, but the painting son will refuse to eat any fatty bits, unlike his meat, so like pork or steak or whatever. So, like I'll grill a steak and he'll eat the steak, but he won't eat the fatty bits. I'm like, dude, right here. Give me the best tasting part of the steak. I'm cool with that. Yeah, it's like the magical bite, you know? You guys ever have that where it's like you're eating like just a fantastic steak and that last bite is like fatty and you just know. You know that's the and you bite into it and it's just like pure magic and that's your last bite you eat. It's yeah. Those are the steak moments to live for right there. A lot of trout. Steelhead's big here when it's fishing season. Okay, nice. Yeah, I've had some freshwater fish, but I don't think I would ever fish something in a local river or lake or anything and eat it. I'm always nervous about like pollution in our local waterways because Ohio being Rust Belt wasn't exactly known for its clean parks or anything for a long time, so. Perfect amount of crisped up fat on the edge. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. You get that little bit of char right there on the fatty bit. That's where it's at. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of an advantage of being kind of a lower population state, right? Like, you got a good amount of space, but not a ton of people, and a lot of like parks and everything. So that kind of lends itself to, hopefully your government is aware of that and keeps things clean. We're in Ohio. I'm in central Ohio. So, in the old middle. If you want my direct address, I'm going to say no. No thanks. But, yeah. Boys painting in Iowa? Okay. I met one person from Iowa when I was in college. She came to school in Ohio from Iowa, and yeah, she said it's basically just like Ohio is how she described Iowa. But I kind of disagree with that, but I don't know. I got family in Cleveland. Nice. It's even better. Much less people. Good for fishing and hunting. Yeah, that's cool. I've been told meth floats. Just skim it off the top and you're good to go. That's true. Yeah. That's another statewide dish for Ohio is methamphetamines. Save for Florida, yeah. You want to talk about polluted rivers? Man, Florida is wild. My parents lived in Florida for a time. It was crazy. Like, let's go to the beach. And they go to the beach, like, nope. And they just start coughing and like, we need to leave the beach. From like the red tide or whatever. All the algae blooms that happen from the chemical dumping. Getting better. Okay. Okay. Lots of corn in Iowa. Yeah, alright, alright. Same with Ohio. You also have family in St. Petersburg. Yeah, I have some family in St. Petersburg. Spoken to them in a bit, but one of the nice things about living in central Ohio is the people here are considered so generic and middle of the road that a lot of big restaurant chains will test menu items in this area. So we get like unique menu items for restaurants that like may never show up to the rest of the world or country or whatever, which is pretty cool. We just get like random stuff, get to try before everybody else. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Especially Wendy's, but Wendy's is actually from Ohio and it's based out of Columbus, like their corporate headquarters and stuff. So they test a whole bunch of stuff all the time. They always have crazy menu stuff. Just base code in this many. Any Twitch that seems yeah. There's definitely more people on Twitch, Sindri. Yeah, Twitch is a little better for interacting with the live stream. But I like having YouTube open for people who might not have Twitch or have Twitch available at work or something, but they can listen on YouTube. Love Wendy's. The closest one to me is pretty bad though. Yeah. Yeah, Wendy's is really bad about that. I've noticed Wendy's is probably one of the worst for getting orders wrong. The nice thing about Wendy's though is if they get your order wrong, they'll correct it. At least in my experience. Where McDonald's, they make up a bunch of stuff, and it's always like a horrible experience. So, not that I've gone to any of them recently, but mainly because I'm tired of my order always being wrong. Okay, put some more black down. Hey, there we go. What's up, Sentry? In with all the cool kids over here. I was saying earlier, Patreon, there'll be a YouTube video up, I think, this afternoon for you guys. Everything edited and uploaded, and then everybody else tomorrow. And it's just more 1,000 Suns and 3rd edition. I'm going to talk about tanks. So, I want to hear about tanks. Could be relevant. I think it's somewhat relevant for anybody, regardless of what Legion you play in Heresy. But, yeah. You want to listen, give it a like, you know, that whole thing. I greatly appreciate it. Turn on the background. I don't know. I did pass 400 subscribers over the weekend on YouTube, which is pretty awesome. Did you end up with thank you coming into my tank talk? I did not. No, I didn't. No, I'm not clever enough for that kind of stuff. But one of the big milestones for YouTube is 500 subscribers. So I have no idea what that is. Yes, once I hit 500 subs on YouTube, and I think a certain amount of like watch hours or whatever, then I can get my like affiliate status on YouTube, which seems much more difficult to do on YouTube than it is on Twitch. Twitch, it's like, you know, push for a week to get it and you get it, and YouTube is much more difficult. But stopped ordering nuggets after I got fried chicken head beacon. No way. No way. That's wild. So, my sister-in-law years ago, this was like maybe 2011, 2012. She's eating at Chipotle, and she ordered the like barbacoa, so like the shredded beef. Okay, and this was before Chipotle did like, you know, everything in a bag or whatever kind of thing. She takes a bite and it's something hard in her burrito, and she takes the thing out and it looks like a dead like mouse. Okay, so she obviously goes to the bathroom, she starts throwing up and all this stuff. Well, she keeps it, and she sent a picture to us. She sent a couple pictures to us, and my wife ended up posting it on like Facebook. And again, this was like early 2010s. All right, she posted on Facebook. Well, it went like viral, like thousands of people sharing this and like going around, and it was funny because this was like the height of Chipotle, right, being like the most popular thing. Well, you know, my wife posted it and she's like, yes, my sister got this, and like this is what came out of it, we don't know what it is, you know. And they're like, she took it to a lab to get it tested, and they're like working on getting it tested. My wife was getting like death threats from people because she posted a picture about Chipotle. And yeah, it was crazy, absolutely insane that people were like, they were like so viscerally reacting to someone insulting Chipotle that they would send death threats to somebody. But eventually she took it down because her sister like filed a lawsuit against Chipotle basically, and her lawyer's like, no, don't share it or whatever, and all that. But yeah, it was crazy. Just remember my wife getting death threats because she posted a picture of like a dead baby mouse, and yeah, and her Chipotle food. It's crazy. Okay, so it was kind of weird. All right, kind of weird. McMedic fish. What's going on, guys? So she took it to a lab to get tested, and the lab said, I don't think they were ever. Okay, no. Here's the deal. Here's what happened. Is coming back to me. This isn't a story like I remember often. It just like comes back to me sometimes. Okay. So sister-in-law reached out to Chipotle. Chipotle wanted to get it tested to see what it was. So they paid and had it sent to a lab to get it tested, which to me was a poor choice. Like, I would not have let the corporation test the product, right? I would have paid out of pocket for that because, not going to trust them. That was my thought from the beginning. They initially said what the testing lab decided was that it was like a cow, like a beef like tendon, basically, that didn't break down or wasn't removed properly in the process, which is very possible. When my sister-in-law asked to have it tested, like from a place where she could send it to have it tested, they said no, sorry, it's destroyed, like it broke down too much, you can't test it anymore, and they wouldn't send it back. So yeah, yep, and that was kind of on their part. I don't remember if she ever had like a settlement from them or anything. I don't remember the follow-up to it, but yeah, they said that it was 10% mouse, 20. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep. Crazy though. I don't know why. Like you idiot. Why would you send that to the corporation to tell you what it is? Don't do that. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, as someone who has never had anything like go viral or whatever, that was wild to see. Like from my wife's perspective, just getting death threats for like, here's a picture of a dead mouse in a burrito, and people are like, how dare you insult Chipotle? They've only ever done good things. What's up, Killicam? How you doing? Their tolerance for rat poop and wheat. They buy. Wait, what? What? What is McVitie's? You talking about like McDonald's or what? We're gonna get the weapons with this big brush. A biscuit company. Okay, it makes all kinds of stuff. Yeah, crazy thing about wheat. I don't know if you guys know how like grain is shipped across the world, but if you've ever seen like a grain shipment on a storage ship, they just dump that stuff into the boat, and it's an open air boat. Like birds are flying around it, picking at the grain and all this stuff. Like it's like there's no like sanitary process to like grain shipments. Yeah. Yeah, your family are farmers. Yeah. Yep. Sometimes you just have to suck it up and eat, and then marvel at the resilience of the human digestive system, that they can eat dead rats in their Chipotle and survive. McVittles is an English company. Okay. Or a British company. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That's probably why I've never heard of it. Incredibly resilient, yeah. Well, we were, so I took the painting son to the doctor yesterday. He's had a little, like, bump on his arm. We thought it was like a wart, and we tried to remove it, and it wasn't going away. And we tried to do the whole witch hazel and all this stuff. And the other day, he says it's kind of hurting, and we look at it, it's all like red and puffy around there. We're like, oh, okay, like this is actually getting infected. So, and we were going to ask his doctor about it in a couple of weeks when we saw him, but like we need to take him to the doctor. Like, we'll see if we can't figure out what this is. And yeah, so he had a little infected spot, and then it just, after a while, it just, infection started to spread or whatever. And it's interesting because, how did he get that little infected spot? It's been there for months and months, and it's probably like at school where he had just like a little scrape on his arm, and something got into it, and then it just started an infection. Just crazy how much our skin prevents, and then the tiniest little like bit of decontamination under our skin could just like kill us. It's just too bad. You're done. Like, that's it. Witch hazel. Yeah, witch hazel's good. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds horrible. Getting a fingernail torn off sounds horrible to begin with, but then putting in witch hazel. Oh no. No, thank you. Both incredibly resilient and preposterously fragile all at once. Yeah, right. You handle so many horrible things, but like one wrong thing, and then you're done. That's it. Crazy. More big weapon. We'll come back and we'll do like the shoulders and the ankle straps or whatever. Celiacs, you can actually eat wheat. Yeah, yep. There you go. So you don't have to worry about the rat poop tolerance, except for in all your other foods. Body's covered in bacteria that can kill us. Yeah, yep. Yeah, it's crazy. What vegan meal you eating right now, Anthony? Fuel instant meal cup. Okay, are those good? I've seen advertisements for those. It's like the protein things, right? Yeah, pretty good. Nice. Eight of them a variety pack of 12 of their meals. Oh, cool. Szechuan noodle. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just about anything's better for you than ramen is, right? Like instant ramen. Stuff has like no nutritional value. Lethally allergic to wheat, dang. Oh, did I see the new Myrmidon? Man, we haven't even talked about the new Myrmidons. Oh my word. I saw those and kind of freaked out. Now, I'm not a Mechanicum player in Heresy, but those minis are sick. They're so cool looking. Yeah, the Myrmidon Destructors that were announced yesterday. If you guys haven't seen those, go on the Warcom site and check out those minis. Holy cow. Incredible looking. Was this any tips for painting Thousand Suns? Start soon on my flesh change guy. So the way I paint my red Butterscorch is pretty complicated, but if you type in !red, it should bring up a guide, a quick guide on how I paint the red on my minis. You don't have to do it that way. You can base coat gold and put over Blood Angels red or Angron Clear Red or something from GW. Those both work just fine. My particular method takes forever because I had to make things too complicated, but... Yeah, no problem. 30k Mechanicum, get all the cool Mechanicum unit. Yeah, they do. Yeah, rightfully so. Yeah, man, I have no. There's maybe 2 or 3 units in the entire Adeptus Mechanicus line that I think are interesting looking. The Mechanica minis are just straight win after win, though. Even the new Skitarii with a different paint job look incredible, and I am impressed at all of it. Base coat gold and use red contrast. Yeah. A bright colored red contrast is probably best. Also, the edge highlight with a silver or like a very, very pale gold is going to do wonders for the actual paint job and like getting across that metallic feel to it. The leggy boys, yeah, the new Skitarii, yeah. Yeah, I posted a picture of like an alternate paint job on them and they look fantastic. The alternate colors look really good. I think the weird pale like cream color cloaks on them do not do them any favors. Sicarans and the Cerberus are great. Yeah, I think the chicken robots look cool, and I kind of like their tank units, little hover tanks. I think those are cool. And the little guys on the treads, the little tread boys, cataphrons, is that what they are? I think those ones are neat looking. Otherwise, there's not like a whole lot. Like some of the characters look pretty good and stuff, but they have a pretty big lineup though, so it's hard to just pick out a couple things. But overall, I don't think the 40K models hold a candle to the 30K ones. Yeah, they get stilt guy. Yeah, exactly. Even the stilt guys for 30K look better than the 40K one. It's like with Dark Mech scheme for my Skitarii, mine will wind up with teal cloaks. Okay. Yeah, and you could always do like black cloaks or something too. Like you don't have to do that specific color on the cloaks. I would love to collect and paint some Mechanicums sometime. But I have 18 other projects I want to complete first, so not necessarily on a high priority for me. Scheme for my Skitarii separated. Yeah, they are. Yeah. Skitarii and 30K are separate to the regular Mechanicum. And that might just be a rules thing too. Like, only 18. Yeah. I know. Well, I'm hoping the next thing I want to do is finish these Empire Halberdiers as far as a personal project. Then I want to finish my terrain that I was painting. I'd started painting, got a lot done on. Basically just weathering powders and a dry brush or two. I have a couple more Thousand Suns minis I want to paint, like my Breacher squad. And then I don't know. I think I have another Old World mini I want to paint for myself. We might get done in the next couple weeks if I can find it. That's what the Destructors look like. Imagine what the Secutors will look like. Yeah. Can you imagine those like big beefy Myrmidon minis with like power axes and crazy plasma guns and stuff? It's gonna be great looking. GW can fix 40K Mechanicum, so I'll let them take 30K Mechanicum. Yeah. The day GW does that is the day they win back so much goodwill from the community, taking all those 30K units out of Legends, but they won't do that. I don't see them doing that, at least not in the next like 5 years. There needs to be like a change in leadership and some other big changes. I don't know. GW tends to go through like phases. So it's hard to say definitively like what will happen 10 years from now with GW, because this time 10 years ago, all of the specialist games were completely wiped out. None of them existed. There's no Necromunda that was canceled, Inquisitor, Mordheim, Battlefleet Gothic, Epic 40K, all of that stuff was removed from GW's lineup. They didn't want to produce any more models outside of some Forge World things and then their core like 3 games that was like Fantasy, 40K, and Middle Earth, and that was it. And they had like a big reckoning and everything. I think the company was struggling after 2008 and all of those issues. So yeah, it's basically like what like, and now all that stuff is back pretty much. Battlefleet Gothic is rumored to come back, so we'll see what happens with that. But like, there could be a lot of crazy things coming. Okay. New Darktide class. What is the new Darktide class? Isn't it the enforcer, right? The cop. Space Marine 2. Yeah, well, a lot of this stuff was well before Space Marine 2. Like, I think GW is just starting to lean in on the Space Marine 2 success. Like, they've had 2 Titus minis come out with Space Marine 2, but like this new set of Ultramarines coming out is like, that to me is Space Marine 2 success right there. Like, that's the start of it. Otherwise, like the other Titus was like, here's a promo mini for the new game, and then they're just starting to realize, because you have Sergeant or Lieutenant or maybe Sergeant Mataris also, who is from the secret level episode and everything. So like, that's another realized thing that they have. So yeah, hopefully they'll be getting more. They have a lot of stuff. They have, I think, Total War 40K is supposed to be announced early next month. Yeah, and I would honestly say Warhammer the Old World returning as a game is almost assuredly a direct result of the success of Total War Warhammer. I think that's a pretty easy like buy-in with that. Because man, people played those games and they wanted to play Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah, I think Total War 40K will be announced next month. All the signs are pointing toward it. Yeah, I think it's going to be a thing. I'm curious how they're going to do it, though. Especially with the new Dawn of War game looking very much like 40K Total War. So that might be an interesting comparison. But if there's 40K Total War, you can be assured that whatever faction you play will get included in the game eventually. So that's a really nice feeling where it's not just like, man, I hope they do this. It's eventually they will do that. The Caradons, that'd be a cool one. Yeah. And Creative Assembly get a lot of hate, and a lot of it's well deserved, but they've been really good with Warhammer for the majority of the time they've had these games going. And now when you look back and you're like, man, I can buy all the DLC for Warhammer Total War, and it's like $800 worth of games that you end up having to buy at retail price. And it sounds ridiculous, but over the past 10 years that game's been coming out, like, it's been solid DLC one after another. And also, you don't need certain DLC to play the game, like another big kind of 4X company does. Hive Scum's a fun class. Always some Hive ganger doing something in 40k novels. Yeah, that's cool. Just like a ganger dude.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Hey, Votann, thank you for the sub. Almost 2 years. Welcome in. Welcome. How are you doing this happy Tuesday? John Lockhart said Weird Al's going to be at the Ohio State Fair next August. Oh, dang. I hate fairs. Like, I hate going to fairs. Mainly because all the people. I don't want to be around people, and it's always hot and disgusting out and everything. But getting to see Weird Al perform would be pretty cool. It's weird it's getting dark at 5 p.m. That's just life, man. That's what happens. Weird Al's going to your state next year, too. Oh, that's cool. Going around performing. Weird Al is finally starting to look a little bit old. Paint some 40k, war leaders in blue and white. Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a really cool idea, and yeah, I'd always be happy to try that with someone's world leaders. A cloud flare going down? I did, but it doesn't mean anything to me because I don't understand that stuff. So I know a lot of websites went down this morning, right? Because they rely on Cloudflare, whatever that is. It's just like a cloud, like a server system or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm a potato, mentally and physically, so I don't understand what all that stuff means. Any tips with a world leader thing? Never painted white before. Yeah, so start with a light gray. I don't know what brand of paint you use, but I really like Pro Acryl Bright Neutral Gray as a start. And then I always wash it down with a diluted, like when I paint white, I paint a light gray. I wash it down with a diluted black wash. It's like 50-50 black wash and something to thin it, whether it's medium or water or flow improver or something. And then I layer up with that, back with the bright neutral gray or the light gray, and then I start mixing in white with it. So I'll do like a 50-50 white with the gray, and then your final highlight, if you're doing highlights and stuff, Mcmatic, your final highlight will be pure white. Don't make white your base coat. It looks bad. Trust me. It sounds easy and logical, but it does not work out like it should. So that's my advice. What? What, Votann? Okay. Uh, this. If we're able to get the bone color and then the black on everybody, be feeling real good. Be tons of progress on these minis. Necessarily need to finish the black today, but we'll almost be ready. Just get right into washes. Just a couple more smaller colors, some touch-ups, and then we'll start doing washes and highlights. I'm a Necron. Kids need to stay off my lawn. Yeah. Your Dark Tide Psyker character is called Big E. That's funny. I played the demo, or they did like a free weekend with Dark Tide and really enjoyed it. But it wasn't enough for me to buy it. I do own Vermintide 2, and I love Vermintide. Vermintide is a great game. It's still getting updates. I think Darktide has a better soundtrack than Vermintide. That's a soundtrack I can just listen to while I paint and stuff. I dress up my girlfriend's pig stuffed animal like a rapper. Piggy Smalls. Oh my goodness. You guys need to chill out here. Big EO Mankind. lot of paint on my brush. Oh, it's way too much. Let's move quick. Eventual goal is to have him fully decked out in golden armor. Yeah, that's cool. My favorite name I saw in Darktide was just a guy. His name was Gene Steeler. Just a completely average looking person. His little ankle cuff things. His little power suit. I've seen Gene Steeler. Yeah. That was a pretty popular one. Just mad I didn't think of it. Okay. Just 4 more on this color. And I'm happy with my progress. I think there is a good chance we can finish these in the next couple days. If we keep moving at this rate. Shin guard, get his chest. Be on the next one. There really is no good order in painting these minis. You just have to accept making a bunch of mistakes on them. And deal with doing a lot of touch-ups. Alright guys, I'm going to be back in just a minute. I'll continue painting and continue on these last three with the bone color here. Alright. Let's get back to work. Might not get to the black on these minis today. But it's a good starting point tomorrow, or tonight if I work on these on my own tonight. Playing Dark Tide right now. Nice. Couldn't wait. Had to get the new class going. That's cool. Been playing a bit of Total War recently, so I was jumping between Warhammer and... Oh, it's not out yet. Oh, okay. Jumping between Warhammer and Rome 2 and Pharaoh Dynasties Total War games. I realized playing as Rome in Rome Total War is way too easy. Infantry just slaughters everybody. Sounds like Rome, so... I think that's that one. 2 more. I'm going for a really simple start on these minis. It's just there's a lot of extraneous details and many different colors to paint. AdMech rep in Dark Tide. That'd be a cool idea. Yeah. It'd just be a servitor. You just have to be a servitor and that's it. A Skatari, yeah, yeah. A servitor would just be hilarious, but yeah, Skatari is like the more reasonable one, right? Almost done with this guy. Just have to get his ankle guard things.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Hey, do so the dolphin. Welcome in. Thank you for the sub. How are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. Just chilling, painting some Votann. Working on base colors at the moment. So was it a Prime sub? I don't have a different sound notification for Prime subs, but great, I appreciate it. Regardless, it's support for me, so very cool. Thank you. Okay, we got this last robot here. Use a Prime sub. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, and you don't have ads now, so, or I guess minimal ads, because they still like to throw ads at you, even if you pay not to have them. How's your Tuesday been? Do so. Uses a yeah, try not to work. Okay, I get that. Definitely get that. It's almost Wednesday, which means almost the second half of the week. Is good. Coding my way through. Oh no. Hump day? Yeah. Oh, that stupid commercial. Welcome back, Raja. 2 different companies coming in for window replacement quotes. Dang, okay. Good luck with that. They're probably going to come in and quote you, and what they'll do this thing where they're like, hey, if you decide today to get windows, we'll give you an extra discount. And that's a lie. You can come back to them at any time and they'll give you that discount. So don't be pressured into making a decision today or tomorrow, I guess, the same day. Yeah. And actively has on their website, be careful about companies that do that. Okay, they're gonna come in and do that, so we be careful about them. That means, that's pretty cool of them, though. We didn't say we don't. We just want to be able to say we warned you. Yeah. That's great. How was the family visit, Raja, last week? Or I guess the company last week. Okay, old friends. Okay, nice. All right, well there you go. That's even better, right? Last one left this morning. Oh, hey, dang. Oh, they were there for a while. Nice. I have my space. Yeah. Introverts unite. Yeah. I get that. I will like visit my parents or someone will be in town or something. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, great to see you, but yeah, that's enough. I need to go shut down for 3 days to recover. Quick job this week. Miniature for D&D. Oh, okay. Oh, you gotta paint some minis, huh? That. We got those. Yeah, okay. I think we got the bone on these. These minis are both almost up to par with each other. I need to go through with black, and there's a lot of black on these minis, so it'll take a little bit of time, but it'll be alright. It'll be the cords, his boots, any goggles, normally black, the bars over the bars here, the tubes covering the bars. Okay, not terrible. The gun, a lot of gun casing. There'll be a lot of black there. Otherwise, not too much. It's kind of washed out. Camera's a bit off, but that's a lot of progress. We got a few colors on these. We got a few colors on these guys. We got a solid start. We're gonna continue tomorrow. We're gonna get base colors, try to get some washes, maybe start on some highlights tomorrow, if we can manage to do all that. But I'm gonna call the stream there, guys, and I think I'm going to go right into trying to finish editing a YouTube video to put up for patrons. And then get other errands done today because I have way too much to do. So you guys have a wonderful day. I'll be back on tomorrow, 11 a.m. Be painting more minis, and yeah, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.